exactly. But I just thought it was really horrible this morning listening to Patty's show and hearing, I'm not going to call the caller out, but hearing this guy, just ludicrously throw her out when I know for a fact, because I was actually with JP at the time, when she was concerned about how his revelations might impact, question to him was, "Are you okay?" And then she supported him in his efforts.
Knowing this was discussed yesterday on my program and other programs, you also unfortunately bring this upon Senator Amanda Shelton's office, and we have not sent her any questions. Have you spoken to her about your plan of action?
No. I've pretty much kept my work with Senator Shelton separate. She knows nothing about this. This really caught her off guard.
But also with this, what if that was my son in those pictures? What if that was your son in those pictures? All of this hoopla, having an affair, up the ass, all of that. You know what? Our governor, Leon Guerrero, has proven her insufficiencies in helping the people of Guam. She's ran away from us, asking questions. Why do these rich people get their taxes silenced? They don't have to pay, or they only have to pay a fraction of it, and then they get major contracts. She has not helped the children who can't afford uniforms.
I know.
I just want to apologize. I don't mean to disrespect anybody, especially the congressman. I wanted this, but I'm angry. I'm angry because of the bullshit.
Hey, imagine how the congressman feels.
The families, the wife. Imagine. Even John Paul's edits. He wrote his comment, and then he wants to edit it and put someone's husband's name there. That man, that husband,
It's serviceman, right?
He is a veteran. You just shamed him. You think this is a joke? People's lives are in danger. I hope the feds come in there and fucking chew some ass. I hope they freaking worry if they dot their I and cross their T's.
So the congressman.
But I knew this from the get-go. Even the person that came here telling me we need to move on this and get JP on our show. Fuck you. I am completely ashamed with our leaders.
Man, if I dance, you're gonna fucking laugh. Everyone's laughing at me.
We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat. Step two, baby girl.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up?
when you dance at the club, do you do the whole thing?
Yeah. I love my dog.
Oh shit, that was 40 seconds. Sorry, copyright. No copyright. That belongs to Aaliyah.
We love Aaliyah.
God bless her. May she rest in peace. Buenas, Micronesia. I'm Troy Torres,
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
and welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. We appreciate that you've tuned in to us. Thank you so much. It is Thursday, September 5. What's today?
I think today is take out the trash day, right?
It's trash day.
Did we take out the trash?
Don't worry, Cello. I got you.
Thank you, Chilla. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So,
In related news, to the trash being taken out,
oh, sorry, this is important. Oh. In so, as you may have heard on the Facebook,
on the Facebook,
we have run into not just a disagreement, but an issue of conduct on Kandit news groups, on this forum, in this newsroom, and so we've made a decision to cut ties because, we have to conduct ourselves a certain way, and
that
for
even if it's
various
something that
reasons.
goes against us, we're still not gonna lie about it. Okay?
Yeah.
If it's something that I feel is a personal issue, or we're gonna state that there's a personal issue.
Yeah. For Johnny and for Eric, they're quite upset about how the political this game that was played that became a political scandal turned into a political scandal because of the game. They're very upset about how that turned out and how we this forum
Was
tried
trying
to be
to-
used
yes.
For it.
And I went with my gut. And then
But it wasn't just gut. It was also the lack of proof.
Yes.
Right. It was the lack of proof.
Yes.
So that's a very professional thing for us. If there's no proof, if there's no criminal complaint, if there is no standard for revealing something, then what is it? We have to call it for what it is,
Right.
and it's just
And it made us think.
rumor-mongering.
And it made us think. It made me think. I went home and I thought about it. And it made me remember the week prior, someone was going to karaoke. And that's when they planned it. And it came out a week later. And then that's when they tried to get them on our show to open up this scandal.
So we regret that it's happened because we've had some fun times here.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, we're still gonna have fun times. Just -1.
And guys, even if we received information through the mail, through a phone call, through messages, I want everybody to know we verify it ourselves. I don't give a rat's ass if my mom is the one that gave me the information. We have to verify.
Yeah. And if it's not verified, we have to tell you that it's not verified.
Mm-hmm.
And say that we have some sort of reason for bringing it to you, because the pieces fit together from this side to this side. You know what I mean? We'll always be transparent.
And if we're not
about
really
that, and we'll
sure,
explain it.
we also, let's investigate this together.
Yeah.
These are the things that we know. If you have any more information, please call us, let us know. So we've been very open and honest, and I refuse to let that sway us from our goal here.
So I'm a little less sensitive to the politics for obvious reasons.
I'm not. But I'm just learning, guys.
And no, I think it's beautiful. Your reactions to it are beautiful. I
Grown
take this a
thick
little
skin.
more personally, actually, about the machinations that have happened off the camera, and that is the treatment of people here. I don't take that lightly. So we've severed ties with that. Again, it's unfortunate, but life goes on and we move forward. So life goes on, and there is news.
And we're just eating spam tonight, guys.
It's tulip luncheon meat. It's like the better kind of spam, you know?
Is it more expensive than spam?
No, it's at
Cheaper,
Kmart
right?
for $1.99.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're eating pears too. Thanks, Troy's dad.
Before we start with any of the news, please share this live stream to the pages that you're on and see your timeline. Please like and share Kandit news groups so that others can like and follow us. We're over 9,000 now, so thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're almost there, guys.
We're very proud of the success that we've achieved together with all of you. So thank you, Kandit Familia. Please also like and share Angel in Disguise, ANGELNDSKIES. And I keep forgetting to ask you guys to like and share my cousin Ray's program, The Point. Mornings with Ray and Tall Tales with Bob. I don't know where's Bob. I don't know. Like, Bob has not been in studio for a couple of weeks, but I miss that guy. And it's The Point you can find on 93.3 on the FM dial. You can go to TuneIn Radio or Spotify Radio, or whatever you can find The Point Guam. They're live from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the mornings on the weekdays, and from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. as well, for very riveting talk radio about everything, all the politics, the behind the scenes, they get the interviews with like the big wigs and stuff. And then Andrea Pellicani is on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on News Talk K57. That's 570 on the AM dial, followed by Phil Leon Guerrero from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. We really don't mind promoting other stations, especially if we feel that there's value to what they say and it's educational, because
I learn a lot
more we
on their
know.
shows. Yeah.
we need to be an informed public, and we're only on at night. And a lot of people don't even watch our show until the following day because we go on so late, because we're irresponsible. I would like to say that we go on because, we're unconventional and we don't want kids to see that all the time. But that's actually not true. But if it works for you, sure. There's also James Howard, who has his podcast, The Howard Connection. Now, okay, so that is some interesting stuff. Just like Angel in Disguise is some interesting stuff on different cosmic levels, but all the same, looking into, asking lots of questions about things that we don't normally think about. So check him out. And there's also my Facebook friend, Nixon AJ Evangelista, who oftentimes does his live cooking, tomorrow food, or he'll take you with him to work or whatever. Check him out as well. It's very, very, very cool stuff. I want to talk about tax refunds first. Now, right before we got on, I got confirmation from Congressman Mike St. Nicholas that, hold on. I asked him, that Section 30 money coming in about a week, some $70 million. I asked, is a portion of that $70 million earmarked for war claims? If so, how much? He confirmed that no, the war claims amount is in excess of the distributed amount. So, that's good news, and I'll tell you why. In a story in the Pacific Daily News today, Assistant Secretary of the Interior for... Can I ask him if he can go on with us? If we can call him, so that we can talk to him about the dog thing.
Hi, this is Johnny.
So, Assistant Secretary of the Interior for Insular Affairs, Doug Domenech, informed the governor that next week, $69.928 million in Section 30 money is coming to Guam. Now, what is it? It is September 5, right? So this is probably the earliest that Gov Guam is receiving Section 30 money. Section 30 money is money that's advanced to Guam for the following fiscal year. So the fiscal year starts on October 1st, the Interior Department forwards the money to Guam or advances the money to Guam at the start of every fiscal year to pay for estimated tax reimbursement. So when you work on base, let's say, and your paycheck, they take taxes out of your paycheck or whatever, on Anderson Air Force Base or Naval Station or whatever, those taxes are taken out by the IRS and not by the Department of Revenue and Taxation. So the IRS, because all wages made on Guam and paid on Guam, the taxes from those wages need to be paid to the Treasury of Guam. The IRS gives the money in one lump sum to the Guam Treasury every year, and it advances it based on estimates. And so this year's estimate is 69.928 million. I'm sorry, next year's estimate 69.928 million. We're getting the money early. We're getting the money 3 weeks early, which is next week.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very good news for one very big reason. For months, I think ever since maybe like December of last year, even before the administration took office, when we found out that the previous administration had used all of the Section 30 money within the first month that it got it to pay tax refunds, to make tax refunds up to date, because that's how far the finances had fallen behind. They had to use all of the Section 30 money before the fiscal year even started. We made a big stink about that. I think it was December, or it may have been November of last year. And we said that in order to catch up, in order for the current administration to not be late with the payment of tax refunds, it would have to use all of the Section 30 money, or the lion's share of it at least, to catch up. And so Johnny found, so the question is, are they going to use all 69.9 million in tax refunds? Mm-hmm. Johnny found the latest tax refunds report.
It was filed August 15th.
Filed August 15th. Go ahead and cast it on my screen, Cello. Now, the wording's going to be a little small. I'll just try to guide you through it. Okay. If you see right here, it says total tax returns filed. Now, we're looking for tax year 2018. 39,053, right? And look at it compared to last year, 77,106. Refund returns unprocessed. Look at this last category right here. 7,171. Total tax refund returns, 38,239. Of that, refund returns processed and paid, only 19,340. I believe they're on February 19, right? Mm-hmm. Is the filing date that they're on, that they've paid up to? This is for the month ending July 2019, by the way. And there's not too much of a difference, because in the month of August they weren't paying too many tax refunds. Right. Refunds returns processed awaiting payment, 11,728. Then you need to add the unprocessed, 7,171. Of this 7,171, some of them are going to be returns where people had to pay, and returns where people are owed refunds. But the true number of total returns that were received is going to hover around this 77, 81,000 kind of category. Now, if you look at how much has been paid for tax year 2018, refund returns processed and paid, so far the administration for tax year 2018 has paid $60 million, $60,850,000 and some change. If you look at the previous years, you get a better idea of how much in tax refunds actually will be paid. And the reason the 2017 refunds are only at 128.53 is because there are people for tax year 17 who are owed refunds who just haven't filed yet. Mm-hmm. The numbers that you want to look at the prior years, 136, 139, 137. So this true figure is going to be around 130 something. But as of now, when we consider the 6-month filing date, we'll take a look at the truer number being somewhere around 125. the number that is closer to the last year, the fiscal year or the tax year 2017. Now, if they're at February 19 and they've only paid out $60.85 million, I'm going to take a guess that they're going to need to pay out at least $60 million more in order to pay off all of the tax refunds that are owed and filed through April 15 in order to meet the October 15 court order deadline. So of the $69 million in Section 30 money, I would think that somewhere between $55 and $60 million would need to be paid out from that amount. And then they're going to need to save the rest of it because as April 16 to October 16, the days people were filing their tax refunds in the days following April 15 as well. So the liability will continue. They're going to have to use almost all, if not all, Section 30 money on the payment of tax refunds in order for them to meet the court order deadline. And then money starts to pick up, cash collections start to pick up in October anyway. So I think it's a safe bet to say that the Leon Guerrero administration is going to meet the 6-month deadline. So we've been tough on the Leon Guerrero administration regarding its management of cash, but in this case, it looks like, and for the payment of tax refunds, as far as the 6-month deadline is concerned, it looks like they're not going to abrogate that agreement. They're not going to be held in contempt of court for violating a court order because it looks like they're going to meet that. But the most important part of this story is that as long as they process all of the refunds,
Everybody will get paid.
you guys are going to get paid over the next 2 weeks. That's the best part of this story. Now, there is a little bit of a concern, and that is this part. Hold on. Refund returns unprocessed estimated 7,171. That's a lot of returns to process in a short period of time. So we're going to ask Daphne Shimizu tomorrow whether the employees there are working on overtime to process those payments or to process those refunds or those returns. I wouldn't doubt that that's what they're doing. It's a smart thing to do, and I would hope they're doing it. It's a good use of overtime money, But if you're one of those people who's waiting for your refund and you filed before April 15 or on or before April 15, I think you're going to get your money in the next 2 weeks. That's my guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So congratulations to everybody, and God bless America for all that America money. What it keeps.
Oh, go ahead and call him. But if it's about the Michael Bordalio thing, he hasn't read it, so he can't comment.
Oh, but he can give general comments, right?
Yes.
Did he leave his number?
Yes, I saved it.
Okay. We're gonna actually give us a couple minutes to set up this call. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, we're gonna hear from Gabe Baker regarding the Gerald Wayne Cruz debacle.
exactly. But I just thought it was really horrible this morning listening to Patty's show and hearing. I'm not going to call the caller out, but hearing this guy, just ludicrously throw her out when I know for a fact, because I was actually with JP at the time, when she was concerned about how his revelations might impact, question to him was, "Are you okay?" And then she supported him in his efforts.
Knowing this was discussed yesterday on my program and other programs, you also unfortunately bring this upon Senator Amanda Shelton's office, and we have not sent her any questions. Have you spoken to her about your plan of action? And
No. I've pretty much kept my work with Senator Shelton separate. She knows nothing about this. This really caught her off guard.
But also with this, what if that was my son in those pictures? What if that was your son in those pictures? All of this hoopla, having an affair, up the ass, all of that. You know what? Our governor, Leon Guerrero, has proven her insufficiencies in helping the people of Guam. She's ran away from us, asking questions. Why do these rich people get their taxes silenced? They don't have to pay, or they only have to pay a fraction of it, and then they get major contracts. She has not helped the children who can't afford uniforms.
I know.
I just want to apologize. I don't mean to disrespect anybody, especially the congressman. I wanted this, but I'm angry. I'm angry because of the bullshit.
Hey, imagine how the congressman feels. He's
The
gone.
families,
He's
the
angry.
wife. Imagine. Even John Paul's edits. He wrote his comment, and then he wants to edit it and put someone's husband's name there. That man, that husband,
It's serviceman, right?
he is a veteran. You just shamed him. You think this is a joke? People's lives are in danger.
Hang on.
I hope the feds come in there and fucking chew some ass. I hope they freaking worry if they dot their I and cross their T's.
So the congressman.
But I knew this from the get-go. Even the person that came here telling me we need to move on this and get JP on our show. Fuck you. I am completely ashamed with our leaders.
Welcome back. So yesterday, I just did that welcome back thing because I wanted to sound like we were pros.
Professional.
I didn't really mean that. I mean, yes, welcome, yes. Last year, Gerald Wayne Cruz, a resident of Jigo, who has the best Atan Babaing looking girlfriend ever.
Hey, she wins the Atom Baba of the Year award.
Dude, that was.
I
for
don't
real.
even think I ever gave an Atom Baba like that.
That was really.
That is my goal.
But she's cool. We like her. We don't fucking like him, because last year he went onto someone's property and killed their dog. The dog's name is Pugwa. The family is actually relocating next month. They're heartbroken about what's happened. This is like, even if you're not an animal person, you would regard the dog as part of that family's property. And this guy went and destroyed their property, even if you're not an animal person. So you have to think, like, what if this guy came onto your property and destroyed something that you valued, that you liked on your property, or took a sledgehammer to your outside kitchen and started to break everything?
No, but most importantly, because I have a dog. His name is Knox.
He's
right?
like a super dog.
But he doesn't like me because I'm not like Troy. But I've never been an animal person. I've never been.
Knox loves you.
No, he loves you more. That when I drive home with Troy's Jeep, when I drive home in my own car, nothing. The moment I drive home in Troy's Jeep, the tail is wagging, he's greeting, and so when I open the door, I look at him, I'm like, Muller, you thought it was Uncle Troy, but it's not. Anyways, a lot of people who have animals, that's like their children, Troy. And I've seen it. I've opened up more about animals and stuff because of you, but they love their animals like their own children. Sometimes the animal gets treated better than their own children.
Better health care. Animals have better health care in this household. So Gerald Wayne Cruz did this. It's like an undisputed thing. But his case was dismissed on some sort of technicality the first time by Judge Michael Bordallo, who is a piece of fucking shit the first time for doing it. Sorry. And then yesterday he did the same thing. He dismissed the case. And he said his rationale was that the prosecution should have charged it as a misdemeanor and not as a felony based on the facts of the case. Under his review, he released a written opinion about whatever it's called, a written decision and order. So the case has been dismissed the second time without prejudice, which means that the prosecution can bring the charges again. I think
Wasted
he's
money,
instructing
wasted
him to-
time.
and wasted, well, not wasted grief, but more grief.
I
for that
really think they
family.
need to recall the prosecution, honestly, with what we know on other cases, what they're doing.
It's Jeremy Kemper.
I really believe we need to do a recall on that. Seriously.
Because they just keep messing it up.
Yes. Something's going on over there, and it's not nice.
I was thinking that, like, this guy must be the fucking baptismal godson of Judge Michael Bordallo or something, because twice this has been dismissed. And during this time period, now I don't have any proof, and I said this before, I don't have any proof that Gerald Wayne Cruz is the guy who killed other dogs, including my cousin Dave's dog Sumo. But there has been a string of dog killings in Jigo and Dededo ever since this guy was released, ever since between the time of the first case and the second case. And what I think all of us should be concerned about, even if you're not a dog lover, is the path that this guy is on, because his behavior signals to us that if he can do it to dogs in cold blood,
You start off with animals.
Yeah.
As a
a psychopath
Yes.
with a bloodlust. This guy he seems like he's a psychopath with a bloodlust, and it's just a matter of time, maybe, that he'd graduate from that. And we should be concerned about that, and so should Judge fucking Michael Bordallo.
Even though it was the girlfriend that looked like the psychopath. He's the one. Do we have that Aten Benieles? Shalom.
I think people need to see the Aten Baba. No, we don't have it.
They played it off of the laptop.
It's definitely on Mariana's dirty laundry. But you know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna call Gabe Baker now to get his thoughts, not on the dismissal that just happened, but just overall. Gabe Baker is I don't know if he's the current chair, but he was the chair of Guam Animals in Need, and just more of an animal lover than I am. Or Muller.
Did I get the wrong number?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's the number. I told him what. There.
Hello?
This voicemail box is full and cannot receive messages. Goodbye.
Well, let's try from the cell phone. Oh, I did have his number. Oh, you
I just
registered it.
saved it. I just saved it.
Oh, I think he called back and left a voice message. I think he's leaving a voice message right now.
But why didn't it ring?
Probably because I was doing that thing. Yeah. Oh. I think he's still leaving a voice message. It's okay. If he calls back, we'll come back to that subject. Well, let's move on. So, Kandit currently is investigating. This is a totally different subject now. Kandit is currently investigating a case of corruption, and it's in a very confined space. It's not like corruption that we would feel out in the public. But nonetheless, it is corruption, and it does deal with the federal government this time. And in a very unlikely place, too. It's our favorite, the District Court of Guam.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking into the clerk of the court, Jean Kanata. Jean Kanata, I believe this is a federally appointed position, like the President of the United States appoints the clerk of the court, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be like the
judge.
It's the judge? Or maybe like the U.S. Supreme Court or something? I know it's like, I remember that there was some big hoopla about the appointment of the clerk of the court. And Jean Kanata is the clerk of the court.
Okay.
And she was... and the current judge is, the current district court chief judge is Francis Tidinko Gatewood. Now, Jean Kanata
Followed her from the
Yeah.
Superior Court. So she has to have some kind of
Oh, I'm sure. Francis is the
influence
one who
in
made
hiring
yeah,
her.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And anyone who knows Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood understands that she is a determined administrator and that she rules with an iron fist.
Who does?
Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood.
Okay.
That she's like the queen or the king or whatever of the district court system on this island, and many attorneys are fearful of their lives because of Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood and how she conducts herself before the court. Well, she has a support system which includes the clerk of the court and the jury commissioner, and we're looking into allegations of misconduct and corruption on the part of Jean Kanata and a newly selected jury commissioner over the district court and a newly selected judicial, judicial assistant to the chief judge, and how there is a ring of nepotism and favoritism, and also the involvement of somebody whose husband is currently has a criminal case, 2 criminal cases before the court itself, and also has ties to an attorney who practices before the court, and how some things could be done in a very unfair, unjust way at the court.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm just hearing
because of
this.
these relationships.
That part. I know the other stuff. I didn't hear.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that part.
Yeah, it's a doozy, and if these things pan out,
They have
be-
to recuse themselves, Troy.
Well, I mean, I think we've only known Judge Frances Tedinko Gatewood to recuse herself like a handful of times. But these relationships and how these positions that people are being placed into and slotted into now before Judge Frances Tedinko Gatewood is forced off the bench are questionable, especially when you consider that announcements weren't made for these classified positions within the federal merit system. And so this is something that we're going to take a very close look into, because, I mean, we would like to think that our court systems are immune from this kind of political corruption, but sadly, it's looking like it's not. So we're going to bring that story to you in the coming days. If not tomorrow, then the day after. Now, the only other thing that we have to discuss, can we just try to call Gabe Baker again,
Sure.
just in case?
I hope I got the right number. Why don't you try calling on Messenger?
Okay.
Maybe I got the number wrong.
Or maybe he's sleeping already.
Okay.
I'm sorry, there's one more story. So we gave the answer. There's one more story prior to us going on break and then coming back to news from Congressman St. Nicholas. And one public service announcement, 2 public service announcements, and 1 story that I just forgot to write down. So can we cast to my screen? So Ed and Michelle Esteban, a few days ago, this was during the lightning storm, their Zoe ran away. And if you guys know anything about dogs, they freak out with lightning and with thunder. And so if you didn't know that, like the next time that you hear about a lightning or thunderstorm coming, you may want to bring your dog inside, or actually, even if you put them on a rope, if the rope is not strong enough, or the chain is not strong enough, or their collar isn't strong enough, they freak out so bad that they can break from it, and they'll run in any direction. They're so discombobulated that even the smartest dog won't know how to get back to their home. And so we think this is what happened to Zoe, because this was during the thunder and lightning storm. This is Zoe on the screen. If you've seen this dog, please call 687-0169 or 488-8674. Let me see. We'll share this to Kandit's page right now so that you can see it. 687-016. Please help to find and return Zoe. This was August 18. There's a $500 reward. Here's Zoe again. Last location, Machechi, Derdo. In this picture, she has a red collar. I don't know if she'll have a red collar on when you see her. She's on medication as well, so it's really important that she's brought back. The $500 reward, see?
Oh.
It's August 27, just a few days ago. Here's a picture of Asaki Melania. Now, okay, the Ed and Michelle also have these two, Fritz and Sammy, who they found and nursed back to health. Now, Fritz and Sammy are inseparable. This is Fritz and Sammy now, after being nursed back to health. Ed and Michelle are just fostering them, make sure that they're back in good health, and now they need a home. And when I say a home, I mean they need to be adopted together because they're inseparable. You don't want to.
And Troy cannot take any more dogs.
I didn't even ask. Because
He's
I already
grounded.
knew she would nuke it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're so cute. Look at them. Who wants Fritz and Sammy? Contact Ed and Michelle Esteban on their Facebook page, or you can call here at Kandit and we'll
direct you over to them.
We'll make the arrangements for you. Look how cute they are. Who wants Fritz and Sammy? But you have to be responsible.
Oh, and according to Ed, Michelle has a sixth sense. So don't pretend like you like a dog, because she'll sniff that out.
She's a bona fide investigator, as a matter of fact.
Yes, she is.
She's not fucking around. I believe she's like been on FBI task force and stuff. She's tough.
I love Michelle.
But she's really, really nice, and she look heart of freaking gold. And they're fostering these dogs even though they lost theirs. I mean, they're beautiful people. Then the next public service announcement, it's more of an ad, and it's more of a free ad. It's for my brother's company. Now, you guys ever need CBD products? My brother is the proprietor of the Healing Garden, healinggardenguam.com. This is the site. This is probably the gayest thing my brother has ever done. Look at all that gay shit there. Look at that. Well, anyway, Healing Garden is a family-run business launched in 2018. Our personal search for more natural and alternative medication for family members is what brought us here today. We genuinely believe in the unlimited healing powers of CBD and want every needing person who suffers from chronic pain or other debilitating conditions to benefit from this alternative medicine that has been used for centuries by numerous cultures throughout the world. We carefully select brands based on strict criteria such as where the plants are sourced, what extraction method is used, and if third-party testing is rigorously implemented. We research, review, and monitor the brands we offer our customers, ensuring that they only have premium quality CBD products to choose from. Let us worry about filtering through the marketing chaos of today's CBD market, and you concentrate on living a healthier lifestyle. Take your journey toward wellness with the Healing Garden and live happy and healthy naturally. Now, as I was reading that, I was editing it for grammar. And Brian, first of all, there's no S in toward. And I'll do the red marks through the other stuff. But there's not much at all. I'm just kidding. Hi. Oh, hi.
Wait, say it again.
Oh my God, I love you more.
Okay, bye. I love you. Bye.
I asked her if she teaches her grandkids not to call her grandma, and she said she loves being called grandma.
I do.
Hey,
you know why?
sexy grandma.
Hey, you know why? Because they get to go back to their parents. Okay.
So these are some of the products that my brother offers. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Mm-hmm. I don't. There's tincture, gummies, whatever.
Just check it out. Just check out their website. I'm putting it on our comments now. It is www.healinggarden.
Yeah, healinggardenguam.com.
Healing Garden.
Like apparently
Guam.
this nasal spray is good for like anxiety or something. We just had that conversation before the show started.
There you go.
Oh, there's a lotion. There's berry. Oh, this CBD market is taking off, huh?
It is, Troy.
Wow, turmeric and spirulina antioxidant gummies. That sounds gross.
Troy, we're supposed to be promoting it.
We are supposed to be telling the truth, Chella. But no. But seriously though, I know a lot of people who swear by CBD.
So do I.
And so this is check out healinggardenguam.com.
Yeah.
And it's a Guam thing. The products are on Guam, of course. So, it's not like you have to wait forever and ever for your products. It's just like a 1-day turnaround, I think. So, there's that. And then the story that I wanted to share with you all, we posted it on Kandit News Group's page earlier today, and it's from the Pacific Island Times. Now, there's this story by Marvik Kagarangan, and we also have the other side of the story for it. So let me just bring this up. And it's regarding a doctor over at Guam Memorial Hospital who makes close to $500,000.
That's crazy.
Well, we have the other side of the story that says it's not too crazy. Let's just see. Can you do the honors?
Sure. By Maravik, I don't know how to say that last name.
I have a hard time with it too.
Kagudronan, a physician who was hired by the Guam Memorial Hospital for an unclassified administrative position, has received nearly 100% increase in annual salary within a month, from $95,000 in March to $187,000 in April. Besides her salary for the administrative position, Dr. Jolene Uggan also receives an annual salary of $300,000 under a separate contract signed last year with the previous administration. For both sets of salaries, Uggan makes $487,000 a year. On top of the set pay, Uggan is allowed to receive professional fees from patients she sees at GMH, which may further bring her a much bigger paycheck. Earlier this year, Uggan was initially hired as Associate Hospital Administrator of Clinical Services. Her appointment was effective February 11, 2019. Based on the initial notice of personnel action dated March 11, Uggan is entitled to retirement and life insurance benefits. The amended personnel document dated April 4 changed Uggan's title to Assistant Associate Administrator of Medical Services with the corresponding salary adjustment. Lillian Posadas, GMH Administrator and CEO, sought to justify the pay amendment, explaining that Uggan's salary has been adjusted based on additional tasks she was charged with. When we initially hired Dr. Uggan, we hired her as Associate Hospital Administrator of Clinical Services, but it would be for part-time only. Posada said.
The assistant medical director, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't this the same position as the Dr. Shimbaraku?
Shimabukuru?
Yes.
So she probably filled that, remember Dr. Shimabukuru left? Kazui, right?
Yeah, we need to check what she was paid.
No, yeah, okay.
Okay? That's just a cliff note.
Cool.
Okay. Then we discovered that the area she is overseeing, nursing and professional support, the individual in charge of professional support is getting a salary higher than hers. It did not make sense that the person she is overseeing has a higher salary than her. Maybe they should have checked the person making more if it needs to go down, because
I see what you're saying.
so if they're adding more pay to her because of her job duties, what is that one below her doing that would cause it? So they need to readjust.
So their pay scales are all
messed up.
whack.
Yeah. Posada said when Uggan's salary was bumped up, GMH upgraded her title to a full-time position. We evaluated her title to Assistant Associate Administrator of Services, the GMH administrator said. So she's doing medical and clinical services and overseeing professional support service. Those are her 3 big tasks. So was Dr.
Shimabukuru.
Yes.
Actually, that's a lot to oversee.
Yeah.
She is doing medical and clinical service. Oh, that's her job as a doctor.
Yes.
And overseeing professional support service. I wonder what professional support services is.
Besides her salary for the administrative position, Uggan also receives an annual salary of $300,000 in biweekly installments under a contract she signed in June 2018 with former GMH Administrator Peter John Camacho. Uggan is a pulmonary disease specialist specializing in diagnosis and treatment of disorders of the respiratory system, including the lungs, upper airways, thoracic cavity, and chest wall. She received her medical degree from University of Hawaii John A. Burns School of Medicine. She also provides clinical service at the American Medical Clinic. Under the independent contract, which has been renewed this year, Uggen is tasked as Director of Intensive Care, Critical Care, and Progressive Care Units, and concurrently Director of Respiratory Services and Consulting whatever.
And what is that word? I've never seen that word before.
I don't know.
Intensivist?
There we go. Yeah. Intensivist. Under the contract, Posada said, Uggen provides physician service and medical leadership. She is there on a daily basis, Posada said. I hope so. We continued the contract because we do need her in ICU. Don't you think they're overworking this doctor?
She has a lot of hats, that's for sure. She has a lot of hats.
We do not have anybody else to do the job. Well, maybe they should find someone.
But I think, Chelo, they have problems finding people. It's not easy to find a medical, especially is she a specialist?
Yeah, she pulmonary. She is a pulmonary disease specialist.
So I remember maybe 3-4 years ago there were big issues finding any kind of specialist.
So they need to find someone to do administrative work. That should be easy.
Now that's a political thing.
Okay.
Those are political decisions.
So let's overwork a good doctor.
And don't forget, nurses are overworked too.
Right.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, she has this specialty, right?
She should be kept in that specialty.
Yes.
I think Dr. Shimabukuro was saying the same thing, that she would rather be doing the clinical work because she was a specialist, right? A neo whatever. For babies.
Yes.
And she would have preferred doing that, but she was stuck doing administrative work a lot of the time.
Yeah. The contract was signed more than a week after the legislature conducted an oversight hearing on GMH, in which senators questioned the hospital's pay arrangement with resident and independent physicians. Posadas claimed Uggen does not receive additional fees for professional services under the contract. However, Uggen is entitled to keep all billings for professional services. Isn't that what that is?
There was a controversy about that, I believe, related to Dr. Lizama and a couple of other doctors. And I think it was the subject of an oversight hearing, maybe a couple of times actually in the last 4 years. But the hospital was allowed to continue doing it.
Okay. GMHA shall establish and maintain a fee schedule for professional services provided by physician pursuant to this agreement. The contract reads, the GMHA shall bill for and retain any payment received for all facility operating rooms fee, supplies, drugs, and all services provides to patients by physicians under this agreement. Uggen signed the contract on June 25th, 2018. Then GMH Administrator Peter John Camacho signed it on June 25th, 2018. And then CFO Benita Menglotnia signed it on June 22nd, 2018.
Huh? How
does
that work?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's a typo. A request for comment from Uggen was not returned as of this writing. Former GMH Administrator Ted Lewis, who broke his silence more than a year after being fired from his position, questioned the hospital's practice for allowing physicians on GMH payroll to receive payments from patients seen at the government medical facility. This is for professional services. I know what they're talking about. Yeah. If you go in, you do a surgery, the billing parts of that is you bill for the facility, you bill the drugs, you bill all of that, and then there's a professional fee, a professional component, and that goes to the doctor.
That's in the bill I just got. Actually, it was line item.
Mm-hmm. This practice was corroborated by other physicians during the legislative oversight hearing last year.
Oh, there. See, there was an oversight hearing. So there's apparently another side to this story, and I cannot tell you. I can't even give you a hint as to what this person is, to whomever and to wherever.
Okay.
But what I can vouch that this person who is the source of information is in the know. Okay? And would know about medical things. And this person says, I just want to let you know, before Kandit starts going off about Dr. Uggen making as much money as she does, know that the story that Marvick reported is not entirely accurate. There are inaccuracies in that article that need to be rectified. Dr. Uggen is an amazing doctor who has saved countless patients and makes GMH a better hospital every day that she is here. Just ask any patient who has been treated by her. We are lucky to have her. We should not villainize her for doing the job that others do not have the courage to do. So, at the very least, this person is vouching for Dr. Uggins' clinical services, the role that she plays as a doctor. But I think what Johnny was really pointing out in Marvik's story was her role as an administrator.
Yes.
And the different hats she has as a supervisor in the in those clinical staff roles, right? So, is this something that we want to take a closer look into?
We do. I'm not saying she's not capable of doing it. I'm just saying, why are we going to run her down?
Like Dr. Shimabukuro.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they didn't learn their lesson from the previous person, I'm maybe she's strong, yes, but maybe the leaders there at the hospital aren't even thinking of it that way. Yes, she can do it. Yes, she's very capable of doing it, but it takes her away from treating patients and
From
herself.
being a specialist.
Yeah, and also you know, people who want to do it all and can do it right, they forget about them and their health.
And let's not forget that we had on staff a neurosurgeon, I think, who was paid $600,000 a year, and 1 year was found to have conducted 1 surgery, and another year no surgery. I mean, he was on staff because it's great to have a neurosurgeon, right, or a neurologist or something.
Yeah, but they can make contracts for that. That's why contracts exist.
I don't know. All I know is that that's the way. That's 2 times more than $300,000 she's making on that contract. But I agree with you. There's a concern. There's a labor concern. There's absolutely a labor concern, and we'll look more into it now that we have another side of this story, and maybe Dr. Uggan will talk to us. Maybe Lillian Posadas will talk to us about and answer these questions.
Okay.
We're gonna go on a break, and when we come back, the final portion of our show regarding Congressman Mike Nicholas and the news he has today.
exactly. But I just thought it was really horrible this morning listening to Patty's show and hearing. I'm not going to call the caller out, but hearing this guy, just ludicrously throw her out when I know for a fact, because I was actually with JP at the time, when she was concerned about how his revelations might impact. Question to him was, "Are you okay?" And then she supported him in his efforts.
Knowing this was discussed yesterday on my program and other programs, you also unfortunately bring this upon Senator Amanda Shelton's office, and we have not sent her any questions. Have you spoken to her about your plan of action? And
No. I've pretty much kept my work with Senator Shelton separate. She knows nothing about this. This really caught her off guard.
But also with this, what if that was my son in those pictures? What if that was your son in those pictures? All of this hoopla, having an affair, up the ass, all of that. You know what? Our governor, Leon Guerrero, has proven her insufficiencies in helping the people of Guam. She's ran away from us, asking questions. Why do these rich people get their taxes silenced? They don't have to pay, or they only have to pay a fraction of it, and then they get major contracts. She has not helped the children who can't afford uniforms.
I know.
I just want to apologize. I don't mean to disrespect anybody, especially the congressman. I wanted this, but I'm angry. I'm angry because of the bullshit.
Hey, imagine how the congressman feels.
The families, the wife. Imagine even John Paul's edits. He wrote his comment, and then he wants to edit it and put someone's husband's name there. That man, that husband,
it's serviceman, right?
He is a veteran. You just shamed him. You think this is a joke? People's lives are in danger. I hope the feds come in there and fucking chew some ass. I hope they freaking worry if they dot their I and cross their T's.
So the congressman.
But I knew this from the get-go. Even the person that came here telling me we need to move on this and get JP on our show. Fuck you. I am completely ashamed with our leaders. Welcome back. We have a public service announcement. So, guys, I can't. Thanks for hanging on.
You like our Buddha? Angel in Disguise loves our Buddha.
Yes.
Yes. There. Did you see her comment? She
Yes.
loves our Buddha.
Yes.
We love you. So, can you cast on my screen, Chalu? Can you guys please support Chifey?
We have tickets here.
So he's running for Little Mr. Guam. He has a fundraiser with his parents because he's not going to be there at Buddy's Billiards. Is this Friday?
No.
September 14th or Saturday?
I think that's a Saturday.
What is it? We should probably get this right.
Let me check the date.
Amy
She went to sleep.
Bueller?
Bueller. It's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay, Saturday, September 14th. It's $10. Last night, Chelo was discussing how he's going to sell the tickets for $20. It's $10. It comes with a drink coupon that doesn't expire for a month after the fundraiser. There's going to be drinks, chess, of course, pool, and raffle prizes. They're sourcing out raffle prizes and stuff. So please support Chifey in his journey to be Little Mr. Guam. And you can also vote for Chifey. Go onto Amy Jackson's page, and every day she puts it on about the voting for not Mr. Popularity, whatever that vote, like what's that thing called?
I don't know anything about pageants.
Oh, so yeah, there's a voting thing, and we vote every day. So, and you can vote every day. You can have at least one vote every. You can have one vote every day. Before we get to our top story, I want to read some of the comments that we have. Some of this stuff is really funny. Hi to everybody. Hi, we love you all very much as well. Let me just see. One of my favorites, Rosalind and Michael Cruz says, "Hi guys, it's your auntie from another panty." Esther who share.
No, how about George Delgado Nation said, "Can I get a Kandit panty, or is it too soon?"
Hashtag toxic. Anthony Mendiola says, Big Tone says, "Damn, every time I hear this part of Johnny Rosario, I get goosebumps. This lady is badass, I'm telling you."
Thank you, Big Tone. You're more badass. Thank you for helping the children and the parks. And I'm really glad Senator Rogel is gonna get in contact with him because he has an idea because he really loves what Ton's doing. I think he's gonna help him out so that they can help out the kids.
Good. At least one of our leaders is springing up to help in this because
Yes.
he's making a difference.
Yes.
Big Tone is making a damn difference.
Yeah,
you know?
and thank you, Senator Rogel, for
Thank you.
taking part of your busy schedule fighting the good fight with the people of Guam and
For the people of Guam against. Never mind. We don't want to get him in trouble.
yeah.
People are looking for the Enough shirt. I believe it was printed by Choke Supply, right?
It was printed by Choke Supply but given out by Monique Baza.
Yes.
And I believe she also Monique. I'll look into it and then we'll put it up tomorrow. She has what are those things called?
Instagram?
No, not Instagram. She talks about her story.
A podcast?
A podcast.
Do you have the name of the podcast?
No, I'm gonna do all of that and then we'll
Okay.
present it tomorrow.
Irene Sanchez says, "Yes, I finally get to watch live." Thank you, Irene, and thank you, everyone. Rosin and Michael say, "Love you, beautiful creatures." Troy, Johnny, and Eric, America and Africa too. Well, if you had to deal with America and Africa, you might reserve some of that love because they.
Yeah, America tore my jeans.
Are you sure it wasn't Africa?
It was America. Okay?
Ned Pablo will be very happy to hear you say that. I thought. Were we able to send the thing to Ned on WhatsApp? Oh, after the show?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So, Ned is trying to coordinate for people to come on our show and discuss self-determination.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think that's very cool.
You know, I was actually watching. I believe it's Juan Pat, the son.
Melvin?
He has like this thing on YouTube.
Nihi, right?
I love it. Those kids are the ones telling me, and I've been watching it. So
Oh, cool.
so if this is me, I'm watching him. Say, oh, those kids know what that is. Oh my God, Johnny, get with the program. But
Well-
something's nudging inside of me that I need to learn it. Something inside of me is nudging, saying, Johnny, get with it. You got to understand this, and then
You know what that nudge is called?
What?
Mr. Lebowski is lecturing us about it.
Yes, he was lecturing us. Thank you, Mr. Lebowski.
And then, wait, there were some good ones here. Doris Hong Yi says, good evening to the wonderful dedicated voice of Kandit Guam staff. Rosa and Michael, I'm not sure who she's referring to, but she says, check Fantaludon.
Oh, because she said, "Hey, you didn't ganks me on Facebook on the Facebook." So I just confirmed it.
Mike Krasansky says, Sister Johnny, I like when you're passionately mad. No need to apologize.
Thanks,
Franklin
guys.
Perez asks regarding the Mike Nicholas thing or a political hack job.
It
Well-
was, guys, this thing about Mike Nicholas, and I will bet my life on it. It was planned a week prior at a karaoke bar.
Or even before that. Well,
Yeah.
according to Congressman Nicholas.
No, I'm
months
talking
ago.
about how they were gonna come out on
Yeah,
social
yeah,
media.
Yeah, there are specific plans.
Yes.
Rosin and Michael Cruz say of the story of Gerald Wayne Cruz, heartless animal murderer, he's the Goget, which reminds me of something. I think it was Rosalind and Michael Cruz who posted, I could be wrong, but yesterday someone posted something in the comments and I was literally laughing my ass off. In reference to the governor.
What?
MAGA Goget. Because Don Charkaloff was like, I hate that term MAGA Goget. It makes me think that someone is going to take my blood or something like that, like it's a vampire. And then I think it was Rosa and Michael Cruz that said, MAGA Goget. Franklin Maris said, speaking about pets, have you seen the pug working at Adeloop? Okay, now, if you're talking about an actual dog, that's very cute. But if you're talking about an ugly person, that is so fucking funny. I'm not sure entirely what this is reference, but Vincent Cruz says, "True, Johnny." Do you remember what we were
No,
talking
I
about?
don't.
Oh, about dogs being like
Love.
kids.
Okay.
Yeah. Rissa Delgado Castro says that guy is a sociopath, referring to Gerald Wayne Cruz. In the making, and Bordallo dismissed that BS. Should someone get hurt by this guy, the blood is on Bordallo's hands. Janessa Pablo says, you guys are the most amazing people. You are, Janessa. Thank you. Hi, Sister Georgine. Mike Rosansky and actually even Gina Call are asking for Kandit shirts.
It's in the works.
Michael Carlo Netadog, please work on that on that thing for us, please. These would choke supply. Gina says your desk keeps changing with the props. It keeps things interesting, and I pay attention to stuff like that. I love the positive vibes from all of it. We were born in the year of the monkey.
Yeah.
That's what the monkey's for.
But we're not keeping our mouth shut.
Ned Pablo posted this cool graphic of President Trump holding a calendar, and the calendar says Tano tomorrow. Hi, Ned. Ray Perez asked, where can I purchase stickers? Here, you can come here and we're, one of us is here, like almost all the time. George says, can a brown nigga get some Kandit panties crotchless for breathability yet, or too soon, too real? Mike Rosansky, this is my favorite one. Love it that my family has to come on Kandit to find me. Mike Rosansky says, fuck you animal killers, unless it's for food, like a pig. Oh my God. And we read David Camacho's mind, because prior to us talking about the Dr. Uggan story, he says, can Kandit check on the hiring of Dr. Uggan at GMH, physician and GMH administrator at $500,000 per annum? So we're going to look more closely into that. Mike Rosansky says, smoke the real herbs. This is regarding Brian's PSA. Rivers says, Todja, let's see, Todja spam. Ay, Manyalangham. Ray Perez asks, is it wrong to love marijuana? And Lance D. Arcello says, if so, I don't want to be right. David Camacho says, Johnny, you have great street smarts combined with intellectual intelligence.
Oh, thanks.
And Ray Parrish says, it's never too late to learn anything. Joseph Tidegby says, you nailed it, David Camacho, about JPM, John Paul Manuel. Oh, because David Camacho says, John Paul Manuel is portraying himself as a victim. Really, in truth, he is the villain. And with that, let's move on to our next segment regarding Congressman Mike St. Nicholas. You wanted to say something?
The other night, when this all came out, and finally the congressman responded, and Kandit was brought to you by Kandit first, and it is my personal belief that the congressman gave that to us because we weren't so quick to judge. And that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
I don't like to judge Pat.
Yeah, and sometimes I think my gut is crazy and I overthink things. But the following day, I believe on Tuesday, I listened all day to the radio station. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. My grandkids were looking at me like I was crazy.
I was sleeping.
And it was all morning I was listening to it. And that night on our show, I talked about Andrea Pellicani. And this is what I said. I was listening.
I listened to some. I wasn't awake for the morning shows.
I made some comments
On
K57.
On the Facebook.
Yeah, on the Facebook. I was yelling at the TV.
My grandma, Chelu. My grandma used to yell at the TV.
I was yelling at the TV. I
Whenever the Indians were trying to kill the cowboys.
There was a comment made by, I believe that was Andrea. I can't quote her exactly, but she's saying, oh, because this is coming from John Paul, and I know him, and he's a pretty stand-up guy, and he's a fucking political strategist.
So
he ran Michael St. Nicholas's campaign. I don't give a two shits, okay? If the accusations came from the Pope himself.
that's what you wrote, right?
That's what I wrote. Where is the federal complaints? Where are any of these complaints? And Troy, remember, when you filed a complaint with the GEC, it wasn't just through the media. You filed the complaint. And what did they tell you? They weren't going to investigate J.D. Tooncap. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But today, Maria Pangilinan wants to insist they can just say whatever. They can start the investigation just by the media.
Wait, Maria Pangilinan?
Yes, bro.
Hey, what the fuck?
That I didn't send any of this to you because I know you didn't want the politics to get in your head about Mike St. Nicholas, but my whole day was in this. Then here's fucking Romeo messaging us last night. Oh, he's gonna step away because Carlo Branch is involved and da-da-da-da-da. And then today I fucking see him all over.
Damn.
You gotta choose what side of the fence you're fucking on.
Damn.
So that's what I said, and I just wanna clarify things that Andrea wasn't. She wasn't the one requesting for Michael St. Nicholas' resignation, or even promoting it, or it wasn't her idea. It actually came from this quote from the Post. Carlo Dizon.
The one who ran for Congress before.
Yeah, the one that was his legal counsel, was Michael St. Nicholas's legal counsel.
So she was quoting it.
She was quoting him. So I just need to verify that. Me and Andrea spoke about that today, and thank you, Andrea, for being. You can come off that now, Prim. Thank you for guiding me. It's amazing the support we have out there. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Cool.
And I'll let Michael St. Nicholas know that it wasn't Andrea.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's it.
We love you, Andrea.
We do. And I listen to you all the time, so yeah. I also wanted to read, we have a who's one of us. Her name is Gina Marie Tenorio Call. She's been with us from the get-go.
From the raids.
Yeah, she's been very
with us.
supportive,
Yeah.
and even when she doesn't agree with us, she lets us know. I love it. I met her at Kmart, and I was starstruck because I noticed her, and I just like my heart fell, and I hugged her, and yeah. Anyways, I just this came out an hour ago.
Okay.
She tagged you, me, and three other people. I'm really disgusted with KUAM Chris Barnett. He should have stayed with comedy because his sense of professional journalism is a joke. I know people beat down my friends, Troy Torres and Johnny Rosario, over at Candid News about their controversial style of news reporting. But let me tell you that they at least have integrity and a spine. They have restraint when they know they don't have enough yet, or when they are saving it for the right moment to release. That's professionalism. That's thoughtful journalism. All this bull that Barnett is spitting out about our congressman is just coming out of his noggin. He goes in circles and makes no sense, being hypocritical at times, and tries to justify his opinions based on really stupid assumptions. Watch Candid News, Mr. Barnett, and learn a thing or two about how it's really done.
Hey.
I can't wait to see how all these idiots grovel and try to recover from their stupidity when everything comes to light and the truth smacks them hard in the face. God does not sleep, and in due time all will be revealed, and people are going to go down and wish they kept their mouths shut. Political suicide is what they're asking for. It's coming, don't worry. I thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. I'm going to share this on my wall, but I also wanted to say this whole thing with Michael Sineklis, with our congressman. I'm learning because I'm getting upset about this. I'm getting upset about the families involved. I'm getting upset at this, at just the politics of it. I'm not made for this politics part.
Yes, you
Cello.
are. You're
No.
good at it.
No.
You're good at it.
I mean,
You're good at
I can
sniffing
run
out
my
the
own.
BS.
I can run my own empire, but I can't deal with this politics.
This is
so
dirtier
I'm
than the underworld.
I
right?
know,
It is
Cello.
dirtier.
And I just, if I'm mad at you, you died in my head 3 times already. Okay, so the
She's
anger.
just kidding. She is just
I said in my head,
kidding.
in my head. Okay, but I'm learning. So please, everybody, bear with me. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to anybody.
Or allow lies. To
Allow
be
lies
perpetrated.
to become part of us. So
Yeah.
Troy is a lot more open to allowing people in, and Troy likes to feel sorry for people. Me, I kind of don't have that in
Don't
me
have the stomach for
to
that.
feel sorry for somebody. I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. And me, I like to be quiet and watch you and listen. So tonight, when we were going over the show, before we got on the show, and Prim was playing something, and I said to Prim, when I start to get loud like that, could you please lower my volume? And Josh says, Cello, when you find that button, can you please show me the button? Thank you, Gina. Thank you, everybody, for being supportive.
We love you for this.
I'm learning. I love working with Troy. I love working with Eric. I love listening to everybody. It's amazing, and we're just getting started, guys. And thank you, Congressman, for being the man, Cello.
He's on right now.
Thank you so much for being the man.
He's listening right now. He's on the show right now.
Oh, hi. And just to let you know, I chose that picture, and I
She
did
made
that.
it.
Okay.
She made that.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone for the congressman's support. For every 10 people that have supported the congressman on social media, because I'm following this, I'm really, this has really affected me. This is really affecting the people.
They are very affecting.
They're very
very
affecting the
the
people.
people.
Anyways,
That's an
I'm
inside joke.
following it, And for every 10 people, just to let you know, Congressman, for every 10 people that are supporting you, all the trolls, one troll comes out.
Behind a fake name.
Yes. So
They
that's
don't even
something.
they don't even have the guts to come forward with themselves.
Yes. So
You know?
my hashtag to that is knock it off, Carl, with the C. Hashtag knock it off, Carl, with the
a
C.
That's another inside joke. And we can't say the other part of it because it's going to get someone in trouble. So, earlier today, this has not deterred the congressman from working because he's hard at work. Last night we got news. Actually, I think it was this morning. This morning we got one set of news, and then this afternoon another set of news. So thank you, Congressman, for sharing this news with us. The first, well, I guess it depends where you stand on the military buildup. For those who are opposed to the buildup, they'll see this as good news. For those who are waiting for opportunities from the buildup, of course, they see this as not so good news. And it has nothing to do with anything our congressman has done. He's just reporting it to us, and it has everything to do with President Trump's wall that he's taken defense funds to use to build between the United States and Mexico. It's his election is coming up next year, and so he's trying to make good on his promise to build this wall. And unfortunately, build-up projects
Are halted.
yeah, because of this promise that the president's made. Oh shoot! Can you remind me about this one last PSA? So from the congressman, can you remind me to play this one too from George? That one's
Oh,
pretty
you
funny.
play it?
No, I mean to show it. That was really funny. All right, for immediate release, this was 16 hours ago. 243.2 million in build-up projects delayed for border wall. This is from the Office of the Congressman. Earlier in the year, Congressman St. Nicholas cautioned that build-up funding could be diverted for the border wall. This has officially come to pass. According to our congressman, he says, the Secretary of the Navy, Richard Spencer, called me personally to discuss the diversion. I wonder if the Secretary of the Navy even calls the governor.
I don't think so.
No, probably not, right?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even like the governor. It's okay, Secretary. We don't like the governor either. To discuss the diversion of $243.2 million from Guam build-up projects for the border wall. This is not a cancellation of projects, but an extension of their timelines, and no projects that have already been awarded are impacted. Okay, so
Okay, great.
if there's already an award for construction of something or whatever, then
It's still
don't
going
worry.
through, yeah.
Don't worry. But if you were looking at something in the future that was down the pike, you may want to wait a little. It's not canceled, but wait a little. So this project timelines are extended for 1 year. Oh, 1 year only, as follows. Machine gun range, it's a $15 million project. The Earth Covered Magazines, that's a $52 million project. Road interchanges on base, $2.5 million. Water well field, $56 million. Navy tie-in to local utilities, $37 million. Munition storage 1, $35 million, and munition storage 2, $9.8 million. This is news coming from our congressman. Like I said, for those, maybe for like the Proteji Letecten people,
The gun range on hold for another year.
this should make this. They might be happy about this. It's these projects are held in abeyance for at least 1 year, and again, this is to pay for the U.S.-Mexican border wall. And there are some people in our community who would like a wall built around Guam as well.
Yeah.
There are some in our community who would like a wall built between Jigo and Deredo. Notwithstanding. Then there's, just a few hours ago, 8 hours ago, this guy's been freaking busy. This one is the really interesting one.
You know, when I read that, is that foreign money?
Yeah.
Would that be considered foreign money?
It's new money. And so it's not just, it isn't just good for Guam, it's also good for the United States because it's an import. I mean, it's we're getting more money. The United States gets more foreign money, so it becomes good for the United States economy. Congressman St. Nicholas seeks to open Guam for $10 billion in sovereign wealth investment opportunities. And just so, if you weren't aware, the congressman's background is in wealth management. During a recent financial services congressional delegation to Doha, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Qatar, Congressman St. Nicholas was able to engage with Qatari finance and investment leaders about opportunities on Guam. He says, decades ago, Governor Carl Gutierrez coined Guam an Asian tiger with American stripes, and today that holds true. Congressman St. Nicholas wrote to Guam Chamber of Commerce Chairman Joe Arnett, and the letter is attached, and we posted it on Kandit, encouraging the formation of a public-private delegation to pursue Qatari sovereign wealth fund opportunities. In the letter, the congressman outlines his meetings with Qatari Finance Minister, His Excellency Mr. Ali Sharif El Imadi, and Qatar Investment Authority CEO Mansour bin Ibrahim Al Mahmoud, specifying key Guam investment characteristics. So many racist jokes came into my mind.
I
when
know,
was reading
Cello.
that.
I just saw it.
The congressman says, over the course of the meeting, I shared with them the unique opportunity Guam presents as an investment market that presents both United States and Asia exposure. In particular, I compared our tourist to population ratio with that of Qatar, both of which are approximately 10-1, and how investing in Guam is a sole source solution to broad diversification of the Qatari tourism portfolio. That's what the congressman wrote to Chairman Joe Arnett of the Guam Chamber of Commerce. Qatar is actively investing in the United States with $65 billion invested so far this year and an additional $10 billion looking for placement. The congressman wrote in his letter to Joe Arnett, upon sharing such sentiments, it was expressed in both meetings that the Qatari are interested in committing up to 70% of their future investment cash flow into the United States and that they are interested in accessing Asian markets. Hey, that's us. Additionally, of an approximate $65 billion US dollars already committed this year for US investment, approximately $10 billion US dollars remains uninvested due to a lack of opportunities that meet Qatari targets. Maybe not such a good choice of words. These resources available for investment are a tremendous opportunity from Guam and our people. In these meetings, I was afforded a unique opportunity to be informed of the QIA target rates of return, cash flow targets, and minimum investment thresholds, all of which will be valuable in matching Guam opportunities with Qatari capital. It would be prudent to form a public-private delegation to engage the Qatari and present projects and investment opportunities that align Guam development prospects with Qatari investment objectives, the congressman added. In conclusion, in this letter, he says, sovereign wealth fund investments are an entirely untapped resource for Guam economic development. Our ability to engage these entities diplomatically in my position as Vice Chairman of the Financial Services Committee opens the door for relationships to be established that align shared interests and strengthen ties with the United States, Congressman St. Nicholas concluded. Qatar is a key U.S. defense ally, hosting American troops on Al Udeid Air Force Base, where Congressman St. Nicholas recently visited Guam troops. And then there's even a picture. There's Maxine Waters. Look at that smile from Congresswoman Maxine Waters from California, the chairwoman of the House Financial Services Committee, who earlier this year appointed freshman Congressman Michael St. Nicholas from the great territory of Guam to be vice chairman of that very powerful committee. And when the congressman sent us that, I was like, holy shit. and we plastered it all over Kandit. Again, I think we were the first to break the news on it. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Congressman St. Nicholas, for this news and for your work, despite the detractors and despite the immense distraction that whole political bullshit was. For as much as it has distracted us, we cannot even imagine how much it's distracted you and your family and your staff. We can't forget that your staff also is affected by this. So thank you for you guys keeping the focus on the people despite people trying to take you off that focus. And hey,
I believe in you.
we got you, Chella.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, Congressman Nicholas actually does talk like that. Like he's just a smarty like that. He really like in real life he talks like that. That's not an act like it is with like Senator Regine Lee or Speaker Barnes, where you know the shit that comes out
And
their
Michael
mouths.
Nicholas actually writes his own shit.
Yeah, he writes his
Okay?
own shit.
So
He doesn't count on like some. Political
and so
act.
does Troy. Just to let everybody know, I don't write for shit. I'm like, what was I supposed to say again, Cello? Cello, just say it the way you want. I said, okay, I shouldn't sound more professional.
Like, what's that? We're Candid News Group. We're not fucking fake ass KUAM.
Well, I hope 2 years from now I'll be able to handle a lot of the stuff on my own. You know?
Welcome back.
Yeah. And leading to our next story.
Okay, so let me hold on before we end.
I really like what the Post put out today on Michael.
What do they put out? What do they put out?
Open it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Post
quote
on
anybody anymore. I'll just read it off the. Right there.
Cast my screen. That's gangster. Now, people are starting to make memes.
Yes.
Let's go to. Is it this one? No. It
Right there.
is- No. It's Okay. So first of all, public service announcement. Frank the Crank is fighting Benil Dariush in UFC Fight Night 162 in Kallang, Singapore, October 26th. We need to support our Mariana's boy. So let's see. There's some of this information, right? Those are the hashtags to use. Hashtag UFC, hashtag MMA, hashtag UFC Singapore, hashtag Iridium Sports. You know, I don't know how to read sports, so I'm not even going to try to read what this record says, or anything. I don't know anything like that. But all you need to know is that Frank the Crank is better, okay? And we need to root for him. Biba Frank, okay, so what I love is George Delgado comments this. I just love this. I'm gonna save this and post. I'm gonna post it on Kandit's page. Do you guys have anything for us? Let's see the comments.
Yeah, post it. Make sure when you post it on our page, make sure you hashtag Stop It Carl with a C. Okay?
Do you have anything else, Shannon?
Na para.
Do you have anything else?
No.
No. Thank you, Guam. We love you.